my first experience with leagues in terms like like a guild or like when you're like with other people, I guess, and you guys have the same common goal of improving your character. Um, my first try was just trying out this website where back then I know surprisingly they had websites. Oh, you can join whatever, and just sign up this website, whatever. So yeah, I tried it out. I signed up for it and everything, but when I got into it, it kind of honestly it felt a little overwhelming, only because like hey, they had like these scheduled raid events and stuff, and like, and at the time this wasn't my main character. I think at the time I had like a tank, which their main objective was to like aggro bosses and stuff like that. And honestly, at the time I wasn't really too comfortable yet. And like I signed up for a couple of things they had on the website, and what's funny is I ended up canceling one of the things, and then like I can hear from the league chat like, oh, this new guy, he decided to cancel on us, I don't know why. And then the way I took it was, oh, this little bitch said fuck us. Like, okay, whatever. I mean, obviously I still stayed there for like another week or two, but like, I mean, honestly, in terms of the social interaction, I didn't get that. I was like, oh, I was kind of like outcast. Oh, you gotta do this, you gotta do that. I mean, it's cool and everything, but it didn't fit right. So like, I decided to leave it, and then I looked through the website, to the DCO. I found this one little like, small little guild thing they were doing. I'm like, you know what? I joined it, and then like I signed up for it and everything. But the problem was I was so new to the game. Quick funny stories. Like I didn't like I didn't like didn't know about the whole how they send tells, because I didn't know you could send personal messages or whatever. And I was like, and what I did was I just like when I saw tells, I typed in the shout chat like, oh hey, I see a message. But long story short, I eventually like talked to them perfectly fine, and I joined the league. I was there for a good like what 3 or 4 months, and we had good times. And what's funny is like we ran good, everything. It's just the problem was it was during a time where it was like I guess when the replay badges started coming into effect, which means basically when you run a contact in MMOs, and like if you want to run it again, you have to pay like a certain coin amount, and like I did it, you had it, you didn't, but like I had fun and all, but then I had a great time. I got to know some good people, and what I'm saying, some fun people. Like I actually added man on my PlayStation account. It was good. But something happened where we just started to disintegrate, and it was already a small league anyways, but still it got smaller and smaller. Where I guess I got tired playing or something, and then basically at that point, I mean, they basically all left, and then I guess the league kind of disbanded like naturally, I guess you could say. And I was still lucky the game at the time, so I'm like, okay, well, so I just decided to move on and try something else, another league. Which this league was, I found it obviously in the forums. Also, they were looking for like a tank, which ironically I'm not a tank. It's not my main character at the time. Still, I still tried it again. And the funny thing with my experience with this league run is they didn't stay too long. They were actually, I guess, in the midst of breaking up already. So I literally joined this league, and then like a week two later, they decided to leave their own league to go join another league, which was my first experience of dealing with somebody not wanting to be part of their own league. So it kind of like, oh snap, it was like a big thing. It's like, oh okay. It was kind of my first experience. Somebody's like, oh, abandon it real quick. I'm like, nope, okay, well, all right then. I see how it is. And then after that, I saw like one of these big YouTubers was decided to form his own league, and then And I took a shot at it, and like I sent a Mattel or a message, instant message on the in game, like, hey, I kind of like to join League. So I'm like, and got a response, and he sent me an invite. I got pretty lucky, because that's when things started to get a little better, and I'm like, oh snap. But at the time, it was still not my main character, what I have right now, which is a controller, controller DPS. At the time, I still had like, an ice tank, which is like tank, whatever. And like when I joined it, I was like, it was a little overwhelming, only because I think at the time he just formed the league, so everything was kind of disorganized, whatever. At the time, I was a little burned out too, also when I joined, so I did take a little break again, a break. And then when I came back, I mean, I logged in that character for a bit, and then I noticed one day they needed a troller for something. I'm like, oh, and then I got this guy right here. He was like a backup character I had. He had some troller gear, whatever. Like, hey, invite this guy to league. He's my backup troller. He's my an ult I had. And then one thing came from the other, and this guy became my primary character. Because it turns out I became pretty good at you know, controlling basically with this MMO. It basically was I was pretty good at giving power and controlling like crowd control. So it became something I actually became good at. So I'm like, okay, and then and at some point I became the primary controller for the league, and I'm like, I started building my rep here and here. I'm like, oh wow, it's pretty exciting. And I did it, and I was in that league for a good while. Actually, it was like I guess apparently one of the top leagues at the time. Apparently, which I didn't realize. Like, oh, it's pretty cool. So like I basically, I got built my rep. I guess it was all good and everything. Obviously, I mean, there's obviously a lot of internal issues. I mean, not with me, obviously, but like in terms of like people, they want to be here. Some people they want to be here, and I became like they want to have their own thing, but 30 out of the league, but yeah, I mean, it was still good. I mean, it was no problem. Obviously, I wouldn't say that league probably lasted a while. I wouldn't say I was super loyal to the fault. I stayed to the very end, and then I guess basically we had an issue where we had a hacker that basically like hacked into our league, hacked into the league leader's account, and then basically took over all its admin rights and basically kicked everybody out of the league. I mean, yeah, later on he salvaged it by like, getting making a new league and everything, but I can already tell that I was already the downfall already. I mean, things were starting to crumble up already, and then like later on, I mean, people didn't come back anyways. And then there was internal issues with leaders here and here. Everybody wanted to be the big leader, but no, it didn't. Excuse me, didn't work out. And then I was super loyal because I was hoping things would get better. See, that's the whole thing with the whole attachment part. Because I was starting to get close to some of these people. I was working pretty well, and I was like, oh, I feel bad. And then like it came to a point where everything got divided, where I had to pick sides. Which honestly, I understand it's a video game. And it's like, oh, oh, not a big deal, whatever. But I mean, I picked a side, but I didn't really pick. I just decided to go where I was begged to come to, and then when I came to their new form of a league, honestly, I didn't really want to log in. I just kind of like it really changed me where I didn't want to come into the game at all. In fact, it led me to it led me to not log into the game really at all for at least 4 or 5 months, maybe longer, probably. And things were like not. I mean, I just stopped playing actually, just because the fact that like, yeah, I log in and everything, but still the fact there'll be other people sending me messages like, oh, why did you join this? Why did you go here? It felt overwhelming. So then, like, I mean, after a while, not logging in, I mean, I had people coming, hey, I had people close to me. I mean, I don't know what's going on with you, but with your, we should join us. And then where you're at. And then recently, I decided to take a dive and like, you know what? I'm gonna do the hardest thing ever, which is leave a league for someone that begged me to be there in the first place. But I like her a lot. She was a very good person, I respected her, It's like I feel bad, but like at the same time, you're not logging in no more. I mean, not many people log in general. Even the times I sort of kind of checked and what's going on, I mean, didn't feel good. So obviously recently, and then I joined this other league, which was like a whole different league. It was like, oh well, we had different characters, good people that play, want like the game a lot. And at the time, I thought, oh, and when I ended up joining this league finally, a few people I knew, and they're like, oh yeah, you should be here, and then it was pretty exciting actually. I want to say the first few months, it was like they helped me catch up back, get back to my the end game level. I was like, oh wow, I'm back where I missed, It's like everything's going well. I got back to wherever I had to do. And I ain't gonna lie, I was like, oh wow, maybe I found the league of my dreams. Everything was going well. I got good meet people, funny characters, but then I don't know. I guess too much drama happened, which obviously I didn't. I know I dive into that the whole time, but it's like, wow, it's like, wow, I gotta deal with this, I gotta deal with that, and I kind of already saw what's gonna happen. I was like, oh man, do I really gonna do with this again? And then I finally decided to take my friend's side of the situation, where like, you know what, they're gonna leave, and I'm gonna leave too. So now, I mean, currently right now, we're like in league with like us. We control our own destiny right now, so we're controlling like how we want to do stuff in our league. And I like it so far. But obviously, there's still some challenges here and here. But I mean, we'll see what happens. But I mean, basically, that's what I wanted to say. I mean, I know this is kind of a boring, vlog, but basically, what I want to get at is the leagues I've been in. Basically, there's been some turmoil, whatever. I mean, at the end of the day, it's people. You deal with people with this. Every kind of disagreements. That's the thing with leagues and guilds. It's disagreements always. It's not a perfect situation, obviously. And mistakes is obviously when people split up. You gotta decide who you want to be with. You don't hurt anybody's feelings. That's always the toughest part. It's like I want to be happy. I don't want to like. I hate it when you have to decide who do you be with, and then it's tough. And then when you have to leave, when you realize things weren't going well, it's like, I mean, part of me was a coward. Like, oh, I couldn't be a better man. Like, say, oh, I'm sorry, I'm leaving this. And that's what it come to. But yeah, I mean, this is like a quick little vlog. Just I mean, it's not like exciting or anything. I just want to get out there. But maybe my next vlog, I'll get back to some good, happy stuff. You know what I mean? Some positive stuff. Like well, maybe like I'll go to my funny experience, feet grinding stuff. Okay? Or I'll just randomly talk about stuff. Whatever. If you got any ideas, let me know if you're interested. Okay? So I'll be signing off, and honestly, I had no idea what I've been doing out here. I've been just messing around, doing some random stuff. Okay, this is non-scripted, so it's whatever. I just put it out there. All right. So yep. So y'all have a good day or night, or whatever you guys are at. Okay. And I'm looking for my signature thing I like to do, which I can't find. Ah, here it is. All right. Laters.